Say, where I am today is the product of the choices that I have made yesterday or that I refuse to make. Is that true? Eh? Yes. And so that means where you will be tomorrow will also be as a product of the choices you decide when? Today. So our life is a product of choices. Our outcomes and experiences are product of what? Product of what? Choices. Please, I want response from you. They are the product of choices that we make. So everyone has an exclusive reserve of whatever choice they make. So it's not God. It's not about God. Force you to make right or wrong decision. He said, I have placed before you life and what? Life and what? Life and death. So let me tell you, like I promised yesterday, I'm going to share with you errors singles or youth make in relationships. Mistakes. How many of you are writing? Let me see your answer. When I meet students who are not writing, I don't know. If you are writing, let me see your hands up. All right. Those of you who are not writing, you are not doing your destiny a favor. One of the things you should learn to do when you find yourself in the place of learning, you must have a pen and what? And a paper. Where you do not have a pen and paper, you must have a device, a means to pick, because whatever information or communication you are receiving now, in the next 1, 2, or 3 years, you will need it. And when you need it, you will need to go back to your notes. And when the notes are not there, it may become the beginning of several errors in your life. If you attend lectures, do you take notes? Do you? Now, can I shock you that the conversation we're having here, in as much as the program you are studying is, whether you are studying medicine, business admin, whatever, in as much as it is very important, it could give you a first-class degree at the end of 3 years. That is good. But the communication we are having here this evening, if you don't pay detailed attention and take note of certain things, it will mess up, your decision will mess up your first degree. Are you following? Are we together? So that's why you should do what? You should take notice. Anywhere you find yourself where there is a communication, even if a madman is talking, when someone is speaking nonsense, in the nonsense there is a sense. In the nonsense there is what? All you need to do is remove the non and pick the what? And pick the sense. So if you don't have a place to write the sense, how will you trap it in the future? Because the human brain has the capacity to retain only about 5 or 7% of what you hear. The faintest pen is stronger than your memory. The what? The what? The faintest what? Pen is stronger than your memory. So if I decide to write something and the pen I'm using is not very strong, but I'm able to articulate what I'm writing, I'll find it there in 1 week. I'll find it there in 2 years. I'll find it there in 3. Your memory does not have the capacity to retain everything you are going to hear. But your pen can do that. Are we together? Now listen to this. You are not permitted to determine the consequences of whatever decisions you make in life. You are not what? Say it after me. Say, I am not permitted to determine the consequences of whatever decision that I make in life. You don't determine the consequences. You don't. Of your actions and inaction. The consequences you are not, if we are permitted to determine the consequences of our actions, we will not have any reason to be here. According to the constitution of the nation of Uganda, if you commit murder, you will also die by hanging or die by whatever they will. Now, that is the constitution. So that is the consequences of committing murder. But if the man that commits murder is allowed to determine the outcome of his action, then there won't be any room to kill him. So that's why your choices in life, they are very what? Important. Thank you. So what are some of the errors people who are in relationship make? Number one, I made mention of something close to this yesterday, but let me repeat it. The first mistake is to discover who to marry before your purpose. To discover who to marry before discovering your mission is an abnormality. The Bible says that finds a wife, finds a good thing. It didn't say that finds a girl. There's a difference between a girl and what? And a wife. So let me allow you to find out the difference between the two of them. There's a difference between a girl and who? And a wife. There's a difference between the two of them. So for the man, if you are going to find her, you must first discover your purpose. Like I said, your purpose is what God created you to be. So you begin a journey of discovery. I don't want to go too much. Number two, errors that people... Now, let me shed a little light on that. To discover who to marry before discovering your purpose will cause you crisis in the future. A woman got married to a young man, sometimes 1970-something or thereabout. 15, 20 years after, he was a musician, a secular musician. But about 15, 20 years after, the man had an encounter with Jesus and stopped singing secular music and began to sing in church and grew up, became a very big pastor. But the woman left a believer. I didn't marry a pastor. I married a musician. She left the marriage. 20 years after she left, the man went and remarried. People marry for different reasons, some for wrong reasons. If a young man approaches you, like I told you, those of you who were here yesterday, I may have to repeat most of the things I need to say now, because like I said, I noticed that half of you were not here. If you are in your first year in school, what did I say should be your focus? Number one, your books. Number two. Number three. Why did I say so? To avoid what? To avoid what? Distractions. Relationship will do what? Will distract you. Will distract you. So your first year, second year in school, focus on your what? On your books. You can have friends you chat with, and make sure you draw the line. And that's the second point I'm going to be dealing with. You must draw the line when it comes to relationship. So when you are in your third year, second semester or so, and if there's someone who has been around the corner trying to talk to you, you can begin to think of saying a yes. But before you say a yes, what are the things you need to do? You must find out, where is he going? What does he want to become in the future? Like I told those of you who were here yesterday, I said, look, don't go with a man that is going to a different destination. So number two, what are the errors? To do before you say I do is a fatal miscalculation. Do you understand what I mean by to do before you say I do? Have you ever heard the word I do before? When people come to church and they join them together, they will ask the man to say I do. Have you heard that before? Very common. But to do before you say I do is a fatal miscalculation. Don't allow any man sleep with you. That is doing before you say what? I do. That's an error. Your body is the temple of who? Of God. There are young men who move around and they poo-poo everywhere. They just keep moving like that. So don't allow them turn you to a spot. Is somebody following? Are we together? I said point number 2. To do before you say I do is a fatal what? Miscalculation. Sex is not a tool to keep a man in a relationship. You can never keep any man in a relationship with sex. You allow him to have sex with you because you feel doing that will keep him. You have just made the greatest mistake in your life. You can't keep him with that. You can't. Cohabiting is to do before I do. You know what it means to cohabit? Especially those who stay off campus. You say, young lady, she had a room there, and then this student is also coming to stay with you, and is eating your food for free. It's a miscalculation. That is doing before you say, I do. It's an error. It's an error. It's an error. Most relationships built on sex end up breaking because men generally loses interest after sex. So you find out he's looking for somebody because that is just what he wants, and that's all. So never, point number 2, never do before you say, I do. It's an error to do before saying, I do. Is that clear? Never allow anybody to turn you to a mobile toilet. That's not who you are. Am I speaking in parables? Is my English clear? The communication is understood. Good. Never. You cannot keep him. And young man, zip up. Your body is God's what? God's temple, yeah. Number 3. Saying yes for the wrong reasons is an error. Do not say yes because of a container. Do not say yes because someone asked you to say so. Do not say yes because you are desperate. Oh, everybody is getting their own. Me, I don't have my own. And so you went ahead to say yes to a chimpanzee. You went ahead to say yes to a monster. Because you just want someone in your space. Do not say what? Yes. Saying yes. So it is an error to say yes for the wrong reasons. Some say, I am getting too old. And so they decide to do what? To say yes. Some say there's so much pressure. The last time semester you went home, your mother was asking you, so I hope you have gotten a man now. Is it fish you went to school to catch or you went to study? So there are people who find themselves in that bracket. Have you heard this word that love is blind? It's not true. Love is not what? Infatuation and lust is what is blind. Love is not blind. Love, because love put God first. Lust put sex first. So love is not what? It's not blind. All of you are just behaving like angels. The way I'm talking, you are so quiet and acting as if you are angels. Number what? Number 4. How many points have I given you? Number 1 is what? Number 2? Do not say I do before you do. Number 3. Yes. It is an error to say yes for the what? For the wrong reasons. Number 4. Making decisions without thinking. Many people make decisions through their emotions and their feelings. They don't think. Feeling is based on the immediate. Feeling beclouds your judgment. Feelings blind the eyes. Feeling. Oh, you saw that person and you are feeling. And because of that feeling, you said yes. When you finish feeling, you will not feel the feel. You will find out that whatever you think you are feeling is not there. It was just in your emotions. Are you listening to me? In fact, anytime you need to take a decision on something that is very serious, sleep over it. Allow it to stay. Say, give me some time. Give me some time. When you take a decision through your feelings, you end up regretting because your feeling is not always right. So never be led by your feeling. Be led by what? By your thinking, by your spirit. But there is room for thinking. The Bible says, let the daughters of Zelophehad think about whom to do what? To marry. Don't be led by your feeling. Look at Numbers 36, verse 6. Numbers 36, verse 6. Let them think. Let the daughters of Zelophehad think. Are you there? Numbers 36, verse 6. Okay, can we read this together, everybody? 1, 2, go. Now, I want you are student and very excellent people, so why don't you read it very well? 1, 2, go. This is the thing which the Lord doeth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom? Stop there. To whom they feel. No, look at it now. To whom they do what? They think best. So, before you say yes, you must do what? Think. Maybe you have another translation that give that expression differently. Let them marry to whom they think. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. And what does it mean? That means they should marry people who are believers like them. Not an unbeliever. Like I told you, yes, they never marry an Egyptian. But he said to whom they do what? They think. They think. What are they thinking? Why do you need to think? Thinking helps you to be futuristic. Write it down. Thinking helps you to be what? Futuristic. Thinking connects you to reality. Feeling does not connect you to reality. Thinking helps you to see the unfeelable, the things you can't feel. By thinking, you can see them. Are we together? Let them think. Think about the person. Think about their character. Think about their attitude. Think about their spirituality. You don't leave such thing to feeling. You are just in a relationship with somebody and you are talking and the next thing, something happened and the young man slapped you. And now he said he brought you flower. Can I marry you? And then he was kneeling down. What stupid kneeling down is that? If he slap you now, when he marry you, he will change the slap. It will graduate. He tells you it was the devil. The other time it will be a demon. If he starts by slapping, the next time he will do this and kick you. And there are women who also beat men. Oh, you don't know. This is the unfortunate truth. The unfortunate truth is that men that are beaten don't talk. Because it is not popular for a woman to do what? To beat you. In fact, nobody will believe you if you say your wife beats you. The woman can finish beating you and then put plaster here on her face. After beating you to stupor. There are women who have energy. Let them think. Let them do what? So never make decisions without what? Without thinking, yes. Not necessarily on marriage issues, generally in life. That is a job you need to pick up or something. The first thing, sit back and do what? And think. What is the benefit? Is it going to affect me in any way? Will it bring growth? I came into Uganda 2015. I was heading to Rwanda. I was at Petro City waiting for Trinity. Those vehicles they normally go to. And I got a call from a friend in US. He said, we had a conversation earlier on, and he asked me what I was doing in Uganda. I said, well, the Lord has sent me here to start up something. And he said, what about talking? He wants to talk to his venerable to see if they can create a space for me to come to the US and pastor one of their churches. And we just talk over that, and we left it there. A week or two later, he gave me a call. He said, I've discussed with him. And when he saw your CV, he's so impressed. And he's willing to call you any moment from now. And I told him, I said, God didn't send me to US. God sent me to where? To Uganda. Don't be moved by your feelings. By all standard, US is better than Uganda. But by God's standard, this place is better for me than where? Yes. If you don't clear it, you go into error. Maybe if I've gone to US, COVID-19 or 20 or 30 will have swallowed me. Because you don't go to a place where God is not going with you. That someone else is there. Maybe God went with them. If God didn't go with you and you are on your own. So don't make choices based on your feelings. Think. Think about the future. Think. Not just about the now. Think about the future. I've seen people who are married and they are not proud of their marriage because they didn't think. They didn't think. The lady didn't think. She just wanted somebody to marry. Now she's married, or the man too didn't think. So think. Tell somebody, think. Say it very well. Tell the person, don't make decisions without thinking. Say it again. Say it again. Never make any decision without thinking. Not just on your academics, on any area of your life. So that's a mistake that a lot of people make when they go into relationship. Next, never date a lady because of her status. Never date a man because of his what? His status. Yes, don't. Status conscious don't end up as good marriage material. There are people who are status. Who is he? What work is he doing? Hey, he's connected to this and that. If you think like that, you are finished. C'est fini. You are completely finished. Why? If what brought you into that relationship is because of his status, the day is no longer there, you will lose interest in that person. That means that's what you like. You didn't like his person, but you like the position. Oh, he's a son to so and so person. Okay, he went to so school, and that's all. It's not that you love the person. There's a basketballer who plays for Saudi Arabia, earns a lot of money in dollars, doing very well, and he came to married a lady in Nigeria who happens to be a footballer who plays for Super Falcons. Few weeks to their wedding, she had an accident. She was on wheelchair. And they called him and said, you know this lady, the way she is, we are not sure if she will ever walk. He told them, I love her. I'll marry her with a wheelchair. He wheeled her into the church. On their wedding day, he's not born again. If he had entered into that relationship because of her status, that would be a red line for him. I tell you, these are true life stories. The second case was few weeks to the wedding. About 5 or 6 weeks to the wedding, there was a fire inferno. Very beautiful, pretty lady. And the fire disfigured her face. If you are the man, will you still marry? Oh, if you are the lady. And fire. No, you see, those are questions you need to ask yourself. Am I ready to go through this thing that fire has changed like this? Yeah. That's when you know the definition of love that is not blind. Love is not blind. In fact, I've explained to them in church, love simply means making sacrifice for the other person. Discomforting yourself. That's the meaning of the word love. Love is not all this one you say, yeah, I love you. That is not love. That's likeness. Likeness is an attraction through something. Love is something from within. For God so loved the world that he did what? He gave. Now, what did we do that make him to love us? Did we die for Jesus? No, that is what love is. Love is simply sacrificing. Likeness does not need any sacrifice. If I like your face, I like you, that's all. So there are a lot of people who have interchanged likeness for what? For love. True love involves sacrifice. The first man married, the second one did not. He ran away. So, I don't think I can marry this one again. Why? Because something changed where? On the face. When you lose what they like, you lose your value. When you lose what they like, you do what? You lose it. Yeah. Love is love. Irrespective of whatever is happening, it is love. God loves us when we are still sinners. Didn't love you because you did 21 days fasting and prayer. He loved you the way you are. That's what love is. But likeness is an expression of a feeling or emotion because of something that I have appreciated around you. So, don't date because of what? Status. There are people who do it. They look at the young man, they say, where are you coming from? The guy is coming from Kilimanjaro. They say, who is his father? Even your village is not on the map of Uganda. Please don't look down on anybody. Are we together? Don't do what? Yes. Don't do it. There's a sad story, very sad somehow. This evangelist, I know where he's schooled, and it came to our school. I was a student like you when he came, and he was talking to us. That while he was in school, there was a sister he spoke to, he wanted to marry, the sister refused. Last time we tell him, of all men, it is you, me, I marry someone like you. The lady told him, and never said that to a man because of where he is today. You don't know what is going to become tomorrow. If you are not interested, simply say what? No, yes, but don't just wash him down and address him in pieces. She said she went after that sister repeated. The sister would just say, look, brothers, also, somebody like you, no way, no way. We are not in the same level. We are not in the same class. So they parted because he came from a very poor background. Poor. Have you seen poverty? There is one poverty that has 00. Poverty. But as soon as he left school, because he was a young man who loved God, the hand of the Lord was upon him, became an evangelist. He was, and met one other sister, married, and they were doing well. He said he was in his office one day, and somebody came for counseling. Guess who? You are not in my class. Came for counseling. Yes. And when you are not in my class, finish. The lady was crying because the man who married her is like a monster. He said he took money from his pocket. He said the money I gave to her is the amount he spent on his dog daily at home, because he has some dogs. That's the kind of, he said it's enough money for her that she collected, but he felt bad in his heart, but there was nothing he could do. Don't look down on that person. Don't look down on that sister. Don't look down on that brother. When you get to that level where you need to make a decision, is he working in URA because you want him to go and steal? That's how people ask questions. Does your parents, there are parents who are also very greedy. Say, so where is he working? I don't want you to bring someone here who is not working in is he in the state? All those questions are not what? Are not necessary. The most important thing is, as this person discover his purpose, where is he going and what is he? That's it. Are you still here? Eh? And never get into a relationship because of what you are getting. Don't do it. Don't do it because of what you will benefit or what you are getting. Don't do it. Never get into a relationship because of that. How many points have I given you? How many? It should be 5. Some of you probably have picked up to 6. Can we go over them together? Number 1. Okay, number 2. I want one person so that those online can hear. Others can say, but I want somebody on the mic. Number 2 is what? All of you can say it is okay. Go ahead. Doing before you say, I do. Number 3. Saying yes for the wrong reasons. Yes. Making decisions without thinking. Number 5. Dating a girl because of a girl or a boy because of their status. Next, wrong mindset. That's another error. Wrong what? Wrong mindset. Wrong misconception. There are people who are moved by physical appearance. Either hips or shape. Hips and shape will change. Did you hear what I said? Look up. Some of you are looking sideways. Look here. Hips and shapes will do what? Will change. Don't go after a lady because she has hips. All those hips, something can happen to them and they disorganize them. Go and ask those who are mothers. They will tell you. Yeah, don't. Because if that is why you are attracted to her, when something happens to it, then you start looking for something else. Wrong mindset. Appearance. Develop a right mindset. That will help you. You know where true beauty is? True beauty is not really in appearance, it's in character. Is in what? Is in character. Yes. You can't be a lady and you are a monster, even though you look very pretty, but inside of you, your character will somehow, how do I put it now, will overshadow your prettiness and you become very ugly. You are not patient, you talk and you just, and even men are afraid of you. They say, hey, Margaret Thatcher is coming. Don't put yourself in a position where people will be afraid of you. Any lady who thinks she's good because of her body is cheap and empty inside. If you see a lady who claims to be what? You see the way you are looking at me. Some of you are very quiet. You are not deaf and dumb. If you find a lady who claims that she is good or beautiful because of her body, she is cheap and what? And empty where? inside. Yeah. Inner beauty is the best. Inner beauty, your character. I've told you yesterday about the content and what? And the container. The content is the most important thing, but we don't discard the container. So there are people who think. And for you who are young men, if what is moving you is a structure or the shape, you will keep seeing better shapes. So you can't settle in one. I'm telling you things that you will find them when you get to a point as a young person. So you must get to a point where your mind settles in what is real and what is important. Go and ask those who have built their personal houses. After you finish building it, you find out you are looking for this house, I think. Those of you who are parents who have built this, when you finish building it, it looks like the best thing on earth. After 1, 2 months, 1 year, I say, I feel that if I'm building, I wouldn't have built what I'm building. Just build because of where you want to stay. That's all. It will help you. Are you still here? How many points have I given you? I want to stop somewhere. Are you sure it's 6? I wanted to make it 10. Okay. Another error is making choices based on tribal sentiments. Choices based on what? Tribal what? Sentiment. Those of you on this axis, are you with us? Are we together? There are people who make choices based on what? Tribal sentiment. Oh, he's from the north. Oh, she's from... And then maybe you call home and say, Mommy, there's this person who has spoken to me that's interested in marriage. And then your mother say, where is he from? You say it's from Kabale. Say, we don't want to hear. Tribal sentiment. You say, where is the lady coming from? I say, it's from Central. I say, those Muyayes. People have tax. And they are wrong what? Wrong tax. I have a friend who lives in America. He lives in Texas, Austin. And he met a lady he wanted to marry. I was the first person he spoke to. Because she's not from where we came from. She's not even from anywhere in the West. And our people have a kind of mindset about people from the East. Once you say a lady from the East, they say, what? In fact, just saying wah alone will put fear in you. So I asked him, where did you meet her? He said, A, B, C, D. I said, it's okay. I said, I don't have a problem with where you are marrying from. Once you have peace in your mind and you are okay, you go ahead. I said, but get ready for people that will oppose you, but be determined to defend what you believe. And that was what happened. They have 4 children today, and they are living together. Are you following me? So don't allow anybody confuse you. It is your own personal what? Conviction. Yes. It's your personal conviction. So because your mother said no, you say, it wasn't my fault. I love you. You didn't love him. You did not love her. If you do, you will stand on what? On your conviction, yes. Say, because they say you are from Muyoro or whatever, they say we cannot marry. And so you also decided to back out, and then you are looking for somebody from your village. Never make choices based on what? Tribal what? Sentiment. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't make choices based on pregnancy. There are ladies, because someone got you pregnant, so you say, well, I don't have to have children here and I just want to stay with one man. So you want to stay with a stupid man because he impregnated you. You were foolish in the first place. Now you want to become stupid. You were foolish. He impregnated you. Now you want to become stupid to marry him. Because he did what? Pregnancy is not equal to what? Marriage. Don't be foolish. But if you become foolish, don't be stupid. You are very quiet. Don't be foolish. Did you hear me? Yes. Don't. There are people who decide to tie themselves to a man because he said he has impregnated me and my parents said we have to marry. You marry a foolish person. Your foolishness took you there. Now you want to become stupid. For your information, if he managed you for 1 year, he's an hero. He's going to move forward. Why? In the first place, there was no love. He will tell you it was an accident. And so that accident will keep happening every year. So you are 30 years old as a lady with 3 children, and the man is never anywhere. And so it becomes a burden that you are carrying, and every time you are praying that God should change the man. It's an error to equate pregnancy to what? To marriage. It's an error. Maybe the last point I should give you on that is getting married by sponsorship is an error. Okay. Marriage by sponsorship is what? Is an error. Pick a lady from any village, very, very far place. Maybe she's 18, bring her to Kambarara and promise her marriage and send her to school. And then she finished high school and she goes to university. First year, second year. By the third year, she will have advanced. Things will have changed. If she has a little likeness for you, maybe because you are paying the school fees. Those things don't match. Are you following me? Never get into marriage because of what? Sponsorship. If anybody wants to support you, let them support you minus your body. Did you hear me? You are not a chicken that someone is raising to come and kill to eat. You are a human being made in the image of who? Of God. So one old man in the village is helping them to pay your school fees because he wants you to marry his son, who is a fool. Now you are in year 1, year 2. By the time you finish year 3, your mindset has shifted. Your scope about life is different. You are seeing things differently. And now you probably met another young man who looks like somebody going to where you are going. But there's somebody that sponsors you. So you are in between the what? The blue sea and where? And so you are confused. There's a young man who killed himself here in Katete. That one is I don't know what he will tell Satan when he gets to hell. Because he has gone to hell. He committed murder. You can't take the life of a man. He killed himself in Katete. Why? He had sponsored a lady who went to school. I think finished from where, I don't know, around there. I can't remember. She finished, graduated, but I think she had a boyfriend. And so he came, found the lady, set himself and the lady on fire, burnt the house and burnt himself. What a foolish decision. When there are other ladies. Can't you move on with your life and look for somebody else to marry? Now he has gone to hell. He is gone to hell, yes. He killed himself and killed the lady. It's an error. Don't get into sponsorship what? Marriage. Don't allow anybody sponsor you and say, well, when you finish, I will marry you. No. There was one that happened in South Africa. And there are people who enter into agreement and covenant for those things. They make you get into blood covenant. In South Africa, the young man sponsored a lady, graduated from the university, and when she finished, she went to marry somebody else. The guy just came He just told them, let's see what will happen. On the day of marriage, the lady ran mad. Mad like this. She removed all her clothes. And she started throwing it away. They went back to beg him. He said, give her to me. She's my property. Yeah. May you not become somebody's property by force. I pray for you. So if there are people you are collecting money for, you better go and ask, what are you collecting that money for? Because the day they will show up, they will give you the record of the money you have collected. Are we together? I gave you how many points? 9? Is it up to 9? 9. Never stop developing yourself. There are people who commit the error of not developing themselves in the place of waiting. They develop their hips, but they don't develop their mind. Ladies who do that. There are men who don't develop themselves. They shut down mentally after first degree. Develop your mind. Consistently do what? Develop your mind. If you have an area of deficiency, look for books to read, look for trainings to attend. There are ladies who don't even know how to cook. Common matoke, they don't know how to cook it. Especially those of you who come from homes where there are maids. The maid is the one doing everything. You are on holiday, you went to your uncle's place, you just sit down to watch Bukede, and you watch some TV, and you fold your leg like this. Everything you want to do, you call the maid. You are sitting down there. And your hands are not crippled. You don't have leprosy. Now you are married, you can't cook. Apart from making chapati and putting rice and salt, anybody can do that. To make good sauce, you don't know. So spend those time developing your what? Yourself. Yes, develop your mind. If you have issues with anger, that's when you should develop yourself to deal with what? With anger. If your mother and your father didn't stay together, they separated, ask mommy what happened. So if it was anger that made that left your father, develop yourself so that anger will not do what? Send you away. Yes. So don't just wait, and then somebody will come. One small anger, they tell you, will post you back to your father's house. Are we together? And for the men, specifically on the issue of hygiene, there are men, when it comes to hygiene, is 0. Develop your hygienity as a man. Did you hear me? Yes. You see men who don't comb their hair, some who don't wash their stockings. There are some that can use one jean for like 1 week. Yes. Those are the areas you need to develop yourself as a man. All right, let me stop. Praise God. Did you pick anything? Eh? You have questions? You have questions? Please write them out. I'm supposed to take the second session, but I don't know how we are going to do that now. We may need to fix we may need to fix another time. Because I remember some of you had to leave a bit early yesterday because you are going back. So let me stop here. Did you pick something? Are you sure? So can we go over the points again? Number 1. I asked somebody to get a microphone so we could have someone for those who are online. Okay, number 1 is what? It's a mistake to do that. It's an error. Number 2?
To do before you say I do.
To do before you say I do is a fatal miscalculation. Don't do. If somebody is eating your food for free, let it stop from now. Is that okay? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying you should be stingy. You can, but if somebody not turn you to customer, you know what I mean? Huh? All right. They will turn you to a cook, and you are struggling with your studies when they are having the A's. Number 3, saying yes for the wrong reason. So don't say yes because somebody is asking you to do that because you are desperate or you think you are getting old. Number 4.
Making decisions without thinking.
Yes, you are supposed to think before you make any what? Any decision. Number next.
Don't love because of the status.
Don't date anyone because of their what? Because status will always do what? Change. Even that one on your profile pic, you have changed it severally. Some of you have changed your status today. So it will change. It will change. Next.
Wrong mindset.
Wrong mindset. Develop the right mindset. Getting into a marriage or relationship with a wrong mindset is very dangerous. Yes?
Making choices based on tribal sentiment.
Making choices based on tribal sentiment.
Equating pregnancy to marriage.
Yes, it's wrong. Don't make choice based on pregnancy. Don't do it. Don't do what?
Do it.
Yes. In the first place, you have made the first mistake, so don't make the second mistake. Yes?
Getting married by sponsorship.
It is completely wrong. If you have started that kind of journey, call for counseling so you can be helped. It's better you quit now and tell the person I'll look for your money and do what? And refund. Yes. The truth is this. By the time you are done with school, you will discover life from a different angle. Maybe you started that journey when you don't even know your right from left. But I am telling you, when you get to a point, you're like, wait a minute. Am I really serious with? That's when you know you are in trouble. In West Africa, they will say you are in pepper soup. That means you are in a soup that has what? Pepper. Don't get yourself into that corner. Yes?
Never stop developing yourself in the place
Never
of waiting.
stop developing yourself. Never. And let me say this, there are people who have identity crisis. People who don't know their own uniqueness, who try to compare themselves with who? With others, yeah. Don't compare yourself to any other person. You are unique on your own. You are what? You are unique. Some of you have friends, at times when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, hey, she's more beautiful than me. No, stop that thing you are saying. Who told you you are not beautiful? The Bible says beauty is in the eyes of who? The beholder. So you are the beholder. There are men who think they are too short. Identity crisis. Never get to that corner. No, don't. Are we together? Yes. Resolve that as quick as you can. Once you have identity crisis, you will allow people who are not reasonable into your space, and that can finish you. You will live below who you are supposed to be for the rest of your life. Because every time something keeps telling you, you don't measure up. You don't measure up. Tell somebody it's a life from the pit of hell. Say it very well. No, some of you are not telling anybody, and that is already a crisis. You know, let me tell you a short story, then we take the questions. Pastor, I'm trying to remember his name now, the particular pastor now. So he was in a relationship with a sister. They are married. They've been married for about 25 years or 30 now, as I speak. So he said whenever he goes to their home, he finds the younger sister to the one who was to become his wife. And then one day he asked her, because there's a way the lady, when she walks, her legs are not straight. There is a way they are looking like that. So he asked her, you, when you are walking, why are you always doing your leg? Your leg is so scattered. And the lady said, don't worry, the one that will marry me, that is what she will like. So he married, left, and then later on that lady married, and both of them live in the US. So he said one day he asked the husband, the person who not married, and said, by the way, your wife, what is it that you like in her? He said, it is that leg, the way the leg is. Clap if you want to clap. So what you think is a disadvantage is something unique for you. You are unique. There are people who are crying that they are too short, and so they want to wear something. Just please stop it. At your head, dress well. Just make yourself comfortable. Make yourself attractive at your level. Don't try to be like somebody else. Then you put on something that is going to break your leg. And you're almost fall. You are not a goalkeeper. And you wear something and you are about to. Don't. Just wear something at your. Just be okay. All you need to do is, if you are tall, there are the kind of dresses and shoes you should wear. If you are not very tall, if you are medium height, just check out and dress and look good. That's all. That's all. But to try to increase your height by looking for 6 inches, you can fall down. You are not a goalkeeper. Praise God. Tell somebody, be yourself. Tell the person you are unique. That's all. I was telling my daughter yesterday, I went for a visitation. We just asking her some few questions about her teachers. She said, oh, they are good. They say, but there is this one, make you can be in the class and it's boring. And I said, I don't think your teacher is boring. I think you just wanted him to be like the other people. And I asked her a question. I said, imagine everybody in this school. Their faces are looking exactly like mine. Their heads, everything. It will look very boring. The beauty of life is in our differences. The beauty of life is in what? Life will be very ugly if everybody here is looking like this man. Talking like him, sitting like him, eating like it will be very ugly. But our differences, that's what makes it what? Beautiful. You see this flower? Isn't this beautiful? Now, if everything here is red, it will look as if we are in a shrine. True of us. Our differences is what makes it beautiful. So you are unique on your own. I'm unique on my own. Clap if you want to clap.